Does atheism lead to a better world? Atheists like to criticize religion. They call religion the root and cause of much evil in the world. But not only that, they are actually convinced that atheism will make people better. Are they right? Okay, if there is a God, then there is a moral standard that is over and above man. Man cannot change it. It is not in his power. The resulting moral order applies to all people equally, the poor and the rich, the strong and the weak. Of course, not everyone will live by this moral code, but good will always remain good and bad will always remain bad. Now, what would happen if there were no God? Well, there wouldn't be any moral absolutes. Right and wrong could be decided by man. By whom exactly? Well, by the most powerful. Only the most powerful can enforce standards on others, at least until someone even more powerful comes along. Of course, several weaker individuals may join forces to become even stronger, but the basic principle remains the same. Right and wrong would be determined by the strongest. And whatever is good today could be declared to be bad tomorrow, or vice versa. Now, it's no problem to grant to atheists that people living in this kind of system are not automatically bad or that they wouldn't get everything wrong, because in the end, most people just want to lead a nice and happy life. And atheists may even try to set up some moral standards based on observations of nature. For example, that cooperation is a more useful strategy for survival than aggression. But, well, this really only works as long as someone more powerful doesn't happen to, disagree. But let's be honest, what is there that could serve as the basic and guiding principle of atheistic morality? Good is what is useful, or perhaps, good is what is useful to mankind. Sounds good, but it doesn't really work. First of all, usefulness always poses the question, useful for whom? Because it is never the same for everyone. That attractive idea of cooperation can quickly dissolve into confrontation. And then what? Who should have things his way? Well, it'll probably be whoever's most powerful. He'll simply force his way. Second, the question of usefulness poses the question, useful for what? What will we consider useful, especially in light of the atheist's claim that the existence of man has no meaning? Who should decide what is useful? Again, for better or worse, it'll be the strongest. We see that in principle there are only two possibilities. There is a God, and then there is a binding moral code, or there is no God, and then there is no law except the one forced on us by the will of whomever's strongest. The heartless law of the strongest has reared its ugly head many times throughout history. We see it in dictatorship and racial fanaticism. In materialism, man has no dignity, no worth, no rights. His life is not sacred. The weak will be crushed by the strong. Race becomes everything, or class, or something else. Because there is no right, there is no wrong. There is only the sheer force of the will of the strong. And so, without God, man loses all humanity.